welcome back to another HSO Intermission. Thanks for joining us again. Today I'm here with Johannes and his wife Clara, and they have a special guest with them as well. I'll let them introduce their other housemate. And we just thought, it's been several months since we've talked to Johannes, so thought we'd check in with him and see how things are going out in California. So Johannes, you want to introduce your companions first, and then we'll proceed.
My companions in the order of importance, so I better get this right.
Good,
so
yeah.
this is Clara, my wife, and our bird Papageno. And when we bought him, we asked, well, is this a male or female? And they said, well, we don't know. You have to actually DNA test them. So we did, and it turns out he's a male. And that's bad news for me because they latch on to the opposite sex. So it sort of has morphed into her bird.
Okay.
When I'm here.
Right.
When you're there.
So Papageno, of course, is the male birdman in the opera of The Magic Flute. So when people ask us, our musician friends ask us, what's the name of your bird? We say, Papageno. And they all say, oh, of course.
So did you wait to name your bird until you knew the gender?
I don't think we did, because it was either Papageno or Papagena.
Okay, so you just, you looked out, so it all worked out. So I've never had a bird. What's it like to live with a bird?
It's absolutely crazy. And he's full flight, so he flies around, and we have a stand for him in every room in this house, so he follows us around. He can't really be in the room by himself. He starts calling for us, and then he screams, and then he finds us.
Mm. So what do you do with him during normal life when you're both out of the house?
We leave him in a cage, which is in our bedroom. Sometimes we put him outside, and we would either play a movie for him or play KUSC, our classical channel.
Ah, he's a
He likes Mozart.
Yes.
a well-trained bird.
Yes.
So speaking of when you're gone and when you're working, you're probably not gone very much right now working. What's it like right now to continue to be in the musical field in this crazy time?
Well, we're both in.
And maybe what is it? And maybe how is it different from kind of normal life?
From my perspective, I've enjoyed not running around like I do during normal times, and I enjoy spending time with Johannes at home. And it's been interesting teaching online over Zoom. You kind of have to engage the students in a different way. And I do think there are good things that came out of this in terms of how the students learn their music, because they have to rely a lot on recordings, so they really do have to learn the entire part rather than just their part. So that's been pretty cool.
Okay, I should add that for those of you who don't remember, Clara is a pianist and actually played with us a couple years ago, did the Poulenc concerto for two pianos with Andrew Lee. And so when you say you're teaching, are you teaching just solo piano or collaborative piano? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do in normal circumstances.
Sure. So I coach singers. What I do is they come in with a repertoire, and I play through with them while they sing, and coach through languages, coach through musical phrasing, talk about the background of the pieces. I also work with instrumentalists in preparation for, say, concertos with orchestra, or competitions, or when we do a sonata, then it's a real collaboration between the two. Mm-hmm. So what I meant when I said they really have to learn both parts during this pandemic is because if they don't do it, they can't play along with the recording I sent them. There's no way for me to adjust to them on the spot. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's been a very good lesson.
Yeah, I think one of the things we've all learned, there are a lot of things that we can do over Zoom, but the software has not figured out how to let two people play together at the same time. Software always wants to choose one or the other to amplify. So
the one thing that's not happening, of course, is large ensemble rehearsals, right? So we don't yet have orchestra at my university, and so we were allowed to have a very, very small string ensemble. And I have Moni, our string director of strings, actually lead it because I think they get more out of it. It's more a chamber music aspect, and you can be more technical with them. And I basically just do administrative work. So I'm in countless Zoom meetings also. Fortunately, we have enough bandwidth to both be on Zoom at the same time at home. So that's a new reality.
Now,
Yeah,
some
but
people
we
might
have to adopt a keyboard rather than just having the piano. Otherwise, I will drive him crazy playing all day long, recording for students.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And Johannes, some people might not know that you've also picked up another job. I don't know, what is this, your fourth job? Conducting a youth orchestra. So I'm wondering what you're doing with them these days.
That sounds right. It's the Orange County Youth Symphony. It's the largest youth orchestra in Orange County, and the membership is around 100 students. And actually, for this year, we were kind of afraid that a lot of people would choose not to renew or go back into it, not knowing if we're going to be back, but the membership is actually up. It could also just be the parents that encourage their kids to just, get out of the house. So we have figured out a venue for us, because we used to be at Clara's University at Chapman, but now it's at a different place that is large enough for us to isolate. So what we're hoping for is to have 3 medium-sized chamber orchestras that can rehearse. I would do 2 of them back to back, and the third one would be done by an assistant, and then we would rotate. And we don't call them orchestra 1, 2, or 3, because the kids are really sensitive into which number orchestra they ended up. So we have blue, red, and white. So
you're very patriotic.
Very, very patriotic. And we all do the same music. And maybe if we have a streamed performance later, we will then choose different movements that are done. And then things like Hallberg Suite and some early Beethoven. And we will start approximately in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we have the logistics figured out, and if the numbers hold steady in Orange County, we will be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. So how are things in California these days? I mean, with the virus, specifically.
Well, we've got fires too.
Oh, that's true. Yes, things are crazy in California.
Yeah, down here. It's okay right now. It's we're not encircled by fires. That's more in Northern California. Well, we have to see how it is after this weekend.
Labor Day. Well, we have a heat wave right now, so it's in the hundreds.
And for those of you who don't know, since this will probably hit Facebook a week later, we're talking on Labor Day weekend. So
right. So we have to see if people go to the beach and congregate and just think it's a hoax, then they get, and there are some people in California that believe that. So we just hope that there's enough isolation and enough sensible people that it doesn't spread as much as it could. We have been lucky, living in a huge metropolitan area where the density is pretty high, that the majority of folks are responsible and are wearing masks. And so whenever we go out to Costco or the grocery stores, Costco is a big thing.
Yeah.
It's 3 minutes from us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everybody wears masks and they enforce that, so you're not allowed inside unless you do.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you so much for talking today. I don't know if Papageno has anything else to add, but
you want to see if we can get him closer?
Yeah, get a good view.
He's a little hormonal at the moment.
I see. Well, we'll see him from a distance. So thanks for joining me, and it's always nice to talk to you, Clara, too. And thanks again to all of you for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.